Welcome to the podcast. My name is Michelle Sinclair. I am a divine healer. I actually already recorded this one, but it didn't work, so I'm doing it again. So today we are talking about words, and that words create worlds. So why does this matter? Because our words hold very specific vibrations, and they are part of the creationary process along with your consciousness, with the thoughts that you have. So they really do matter. And in regards to physical healing or any kind of healing, if you speak about certain things, then you are manifesting them. So let's say that your focus happens to be your body, and you have something, an issue that's going on, and you keep giving it all of your focus and all of your attention, which I know can be very difficult to not do, if you're in pain or something like this. But the words that we use around our body and everything, all of our words are so extremely important. So, we think that we can speak freely with no consequences. But I want you to indulge me for a minute as I really truly express to you the power of the spoken word and its implications in your reality. So someone comes up to you and they say, "Have you heard about this horrible tragedy?" And then they proceed to tell you some horrible, awful thing. Now, during this time, your vibration has been lowered excessively. Now, to find some sort of relief, because of the heaviness that you're now embroiled in, you pass along this tragedy to someone else, and you feel slightly better having done so. Now, you may go on and on telling anyone who will listen to your tale of woe, but let me explain to you what's actually happening. So we're all energetic beings, and we're constantly seeking a feeling of relief. And when we've been handed a tale of tragedy, it's in our nature to now find a feeling of relief. And so when we speak of the ill event to another, their energy picks up some of the heavy burden that you were carrying, and thus you can result in feeling lighter. So this worked the first time you did it, and so it goes on and on and on like this. Pass the heaviness to others who can carry it for you. However, what is really actually happening goes so much deeper than this. When you set your focus on the negative form, which first came to you, notice the lowering of vitality that very first came. It is this lowering of vitality, which you're passing along to others in search of relief for, that you have now planted, and it will be returned back to you in like vibration and frequency at some point now or in the future. And so let's just say that this was a message of someone else's illness, and you're now sharing their illness with everyone who will listen. You are planting and reinforcing seeds of illness, not wellness, into the fabric of yours and their reality. So this is why when Jesus healed people, he would say to now go and sin no more, as to not feed the ailment that was just healed. We'll talk more about sinning in a minute. So you cannot pray and ask to be healed from an illness and then go on to speak to everyone and tell them how sick you are. No. When you have prayed and asked for healing, you must now only believe in the healing despite what you are currently presented with. And when you ask for healing, know that it's already done. What an insult to the Father to ask for healing and then to go on and tell everyone how sick you are. You have undone all the good work that the Father has done for you in this way. Now, when we spread unfortunate news that these days is all too prominent, what we're doing is we are feeding that news, and we're creating more of it in like form in our world. And because each individual is different and has different attitudes and awareness, two people living under the very same roof may experience completely different results from a similar circumstance. And the difference will be in the thought forms and the mental attitude that's held by the individual. When words are spoken with conviction, they will be made manifest almost immediately if the one speaking is spiritually pure, and at some point in the future if they're not. Often the host will have long forgotten their words or deeds by the time that the wave of reality is returned back to them, and they may even play victim to their circumstances, not recalling a time in the past when they acted or spoke out in a way that's now been returned back to them. When we allow others to carelessly speak in our presence, it can contaminate our minds with ideas that can cause harm to us now or in the future. Therefore, you must also be mindful of the company that you can keep, as it can uplift or denigrate your earthly experiences. Now, you create your good, but you also create your evil as well. And now, to put this into terms that are understandable, I'm going to use the word sin. Okay, so a sin is something that you have done that goes against the divine's will. So this could be seen as anything that's not done with love and affects another. It's sin, but sin can affect ourselves. So Christians believe that God on high comes down and rains his punishments on those who've sinned. However, Jesus actually taught that we reap as we sow. It's not some punishment from God on high that we're receiving a punishment. It's that we shall reap as we sow. This is about the law of cause and effect. It could also be known as electrical activity combined with magnetism. That what we send out, it's like a net, and it gathers for us things of like nature, and it presents them to us at some point now or in the future. So let me give you an example. So Teresa was very angry at her friend, and she thought her friend was hogging all the toys. And she went out and she told everyone how awful her friend was. She doesn't share. She's not a good person. And she told this to everyone who would listen. Teresa perhaps didn't know that her friend didn't have many toys at her house. And she wasn't meaning to hog them, but she was enamored with them and was not thoughtful that others may also want to play with the same toys as her. Now, time's gone by. Perhaps it's been 15 years. And Teresa's now heard a rumor that she's not a good person and keeps everything she has all to herself. She's beside herself. She doesn't think she's selfish. She can't believe that people are even saying that she isn't a good person. She's stressed and she feels like a victim. She has long forgotten what it is that she did many years ago. And she's now feeling the same effects that her small little friend felt at that time. Feeling that what she's suffering is just unjust, and that she did not do something to deserve it, just as her little friend felt it was unjust and that she didn't deserve it. Do you see? Do you understand that it's your intentions, your words, and your actions that bring about your tomorrows? So Jesus also told us, he said, do not fear. He told us this for a very great purpose, because when we believe in fear, we're choosing, through once again our free will, to choose the farthest thing from the divine imaginable. And through the law of electromagnetism, cause and effect, reaping and sowing, that fear that you have sent out through your thought consciousness and perhaps even your mouth will return to roost. Do you now see that it is you who has created this negative consciousness form, and it will be you who will have to suffer through the consequences of that consciousness form? You sent it, and it returns only to you. This is why Jesus was trying to tell people that it's them who creates their tomorrows. Through their grumbling, they bring about the very things that they do not want. They complain about their days, their todays, and then they expect of their tomorrows the same things that they've experienced in the past, and therefore what they expect is sent out and is returned back to them again and again and again. You do not know that tomorrow something wonderful will not happen. You, however, ensure for yourself that something wonderful will not happen because you expect the same thing of your tomorrows as you did of your yesterdays. So do not look at what is in front of you and complain. It has been your own making. Change the thoughts, and then change the words arising from the thoughts. Uplift your thoughts. It matters more than you can presently comprehend. Your thoughts and words and actions are the very fabric of that which is your reality. So for today, what can you do? Think a loving thought, and then another, and another, and another. And remind yourself throughout the day that as you give in this way, so will you harvest in the future that which you sent out today. Now, it might take a little bit of time before you begin to see the fruits of your goodness, but they will surely show up and be made known to you at some point. And then you can rejoice, and it will renew your strength and faith to continue along the path of truth and goodness as you see, yes, what I've sent out has been returned back to me. So what can you do? Send out a thought, send out a loving thought, and send out another and another and another. And this doesn't have to be anything specific. Some kind of loving thought. So perhaps today you could think about the things that you appreciate and the things that you are thankful for in your life. And as you think about the things that you appreciate and the things that you're thankful for, you're going to notice that your consciousness uplifts, becomes more joyful, becomes more positive, becomes happier and happier. Now, you may encounter people along your path that will test you, or that are in a very low vibration, and that they want to find relief by having you take on some of their heavy, low vibrational energy. But as you grow, soon these people will find their way out of your life. And remember, most people have absolutely no idea why they do what they do. And I also want you to note that if someone says something and it contaminates your consciousness, that form, it was originated by you. At some point in the past, you cast a seed on another just as you're now receiving back. So do not judge what has been done. Take it as a lesson learned of what you will never want to do to another again. You know, this is why some fortune tellers are such disruptors to the consciousness. Because they will tell you something and it might be a negative thing. And if you put your belief and your faith in it, then it will manifest. But they could also tell you some positive thing. But if it is not what is best for you, then you could put your faith in it and you could focus on it and you could manifest it. This is why it really matters, the things that we allow in our consciousness and the things that we do not. But this is what I have for you today. Sorry, I know it's a short one. Love y'all so much. Thanks for tuning in. And I will see you guys in the next one. Please like this video, and you can even share it with a friend. That would be fabulous. It helps to boost the algorithm, and I totally appreciate it. And I love you all, and I will see you guys tomorrow.